So being a long-standing Pro Tools user, I'm very familiar with a plugin company called Air Music Tech, who makes a host of plugins that actually come with my DAW optionally. I actually learned a lot about their plugins through Dave Pensato, who I've seen using their multi-tap delay and other stuff as well. Well, this same company has released the Creative Effects Collection 2, which is a host of 40 plugins. And with it being 40 plugins, actually sifting through everything, I realized that this would really check all your boxes as far as essential plugins that you would need to get the job done. On top of that, I also feel like there's plugins in here that will allow you to also be creative as well, checking even more of those boxes. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 3 of those plugins that I gravitated to heavily, because obviously I would not be able to get through all of them, and see how you feel about this. I want you to draw your own conclusions from this video. It is also sponsored by Air Music Tech. They sent it over to me, and I was really excited about jumping at the opportunity to show you guys, because I really did like what I was hearing from these plugins. So at the end of this video, you draw your own conclusions, but I'm just here to break down 3 plugins that I really liked within the bundle. Let's get it. Okay. So the first plugin that I want to show you is this plugin called Transient. And I really gravitated to this plugin a lot because I'm very skeptical when it comes to transient shapers and plugins of that nature, because they're not all made equal. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to play you this transient shaper before and after. I'm just going to turn it on and off and let you hear what it's doing to the kick. It's going to be very obvious. Check this out. So I know what you're thinking. Yes, I said, whoa, that is huge. It really made it sound transient. But also I looked at my meters and I saw that I was eating up a bunch of headroom. So what I decided to do is to really test this thing was, I said, I'm going to match the volume or the peaks of the original unprocessed kick versus the processed kick with the transient plugin on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little limiter on the end of this, and not even limit, but more or less just affect the output ceiling. And I'm going to turn the output ceiling to about -5.7, which is exactly the same peak that it was before the process signal. So let's bypass these effects back and forth and see what it's really doing to the actual sound, and if it's really giving us that transient without eating up all of our headroom. Okay, without first. So you can hear that transient in the kick. Well, I matched the volume. It is literally the same peak as it was before. And I can feel that the kick is a lot more transient. It has that click that I've been looking for to bring out of it. And it was really easy to do. Long story short, what I did was I went over here to the attack, turn that up, mess with the shape a little bit, and the shape really can affect how the transient shaper actually affects the actual transient, affects the sound a bit too. We have a sustain here too as well. You have the output as far as how much of that process signal you want coming into this actual plugin or not. And then you also have this limit. And this limit is actually a limiter on the end of it to help you control those peaks and stuff like that. The only reason I put this limiter here on this particular one was because I wanted to turn it down and match the volume. So it's awesome that it has a limiter function on it already to help you control those peaks. But nonetheless, just to match the volume, I just wanted to quickly bypass back and forth and put the limiter there. So really cool plugin, really easy to use, and super simple. Not a bunch of knobs. I just want a transient, and it just gives me that. So I'm really happy about that and how easy it is. Okay, the next plugin that we have that I want to show you is this half-speed plugin. And let me get to it right here. And basically, this half-speed plugin is basically a plugin that changes the sound and the timing of the actual sample or whatever you're using it on. Without me going into detail about what it does, let me just let you listen to it. You may have one of these in your DAW and be familiar with these kinds of plugins, but this one is super simple. I like the sound of it a lot. Check this out. So I'm going to turn it on and then I'm going to manipulate it to whatever sound I want. Really cool, really simple. I appreciate how simple it was. And, you know, even when it comes to half-speed plugins and plugins of that nature, sometimes they're not all made equal as far as the algorithm and how they actually chop that sample and actually time stretch it. So I appreciate it. It was really easy to use and it was super simple. And I think for you, if you're the type of person that is trying to be creative, especially as a producer and stuff like that, it's easy to use. It's really, really simple, and it's all within the actual effects collection, which I think is awesome. I really like the sound of this too. That is what got me. I like the sound of it. Cool. The last plugin I want to show you is this one right here. And this one caught me off guard. This is Stutter. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to manipulate some parameters and let you hear what it does to this guitar. Check this out. I'm going to solo the guitar. Take a listen to this. Another cool thing about this plugin that that I thought was really dope was this pan feature right here. And check out what this pan feature does. I'm gonna let you figure it out for yourself. Check out what this pan feature does. I thought that was really cool that it has that, you know, it panning back and forth between the left and the right. And once again, just something creative that now I can just kind of like, if I want to separate myself from the splice sounds that I'm using and stuff like that, and I know other producers have it, I'm just throwing this on and trying things and manipulate it. But once again, I just like the simplicity of it. It wasn't hard to learn or figure out. I just literally loaded it up and I can see everything clear as day as far as what I want out of the sound and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description below if you guys are interested in the effects collection. Like I said, there is a ton of processes and plugins within the bundle, from plugins to delays, reverbs, distortion plugins, all kinds of crazy stuff in there. I'll leave a link in the description below. Once again, thank you so much to Air Music Tech for sponsoring the video and sending this over to me. These three in particular, they're definitely just going in my arsenal of plugins that I'm just gonna go to for creative stuff, as well as that Transient, which was pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know any comments, questions, or concerns you have. Please make sure you like, follow, and the whole nine. And please become a member of this channel. We give a bunch of cool stuff as a member. Money in the store, exclusive episodes from the My Audio Nerds podcast, etc. I really hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, y'all.